Perché Sanhedrin Daf صدي بدنا بري كل إسرائيل يشلم حلق لنبا everybody all Bnei Israel has a share in the next world شنو ما بتجوز عمخ كلهم صديقين نوع لم يرشوا عرس نسر ما تعي مع سيد الهبار بقلوا شيء لهم بعد we by night said to have next world how mer and خلهم تيمة تراب someone says there's no resurrection in the next world of the dead but not تراب نشمع someone says the Torah is not from Hashem بعد quarters so a person who rejects Hamid HaChamim Rabbi Akiva America also adds Afa Korebes for Ma'achisin also someone who reads the external books what the word that means بعد الخيش لما كاف أمر كل ما حلاش or something من مصراعيم لو عصيم عليك كي أني هشم رفعك someone says this pasuk as if it's a spell while he's trying to clean a wound Abba Shulam Bashua says Afa Hogit Hashem but there's also someone who pronounces Hashem's name through its letters instead of saying Hashem or Amonai okay Shoshan Elachim Ba'ad and then there are three kings and four regular people who do not have a share in the next world. Shosha Melachim, Yerovam, Ahab, Menashe. The three kings are Yerovam, Ahab, and Menashe. Ahab and Menashe were evil kings. Yerovam was a person who revolted against the son of King Shlomo, who was ruling, and a big fights. These three kings rather are the ones who were no share in the next one. Rabbi Damer Menashe yesh lo hava. Menashe did earn it back. Shenamar Kusav Yipalel Lava Yishma Tichinato Ve'Yishveu Yerushalayim Lemalchuto. Amrulo. It sounds like he returned to his kingdom. Mara says no. Amrulo Lemachuto Yeshiva. Hashem referring to his kingdom, yani to his physical kingdom. V'lo Lachem Laba Shejiv not in the next world. The four people are Bilam, we know who that is. Doeg was an advisor for Shaul. He told Shaul to kill the entire city of Nov of Kohanim, who helped David. Ahitophel was a person who betrayed David as an advisor, and he went to serve Avshalom, which David's son rebelled against him. And Gehazi was the assistant and the helper, the servant of Shemuel of Elisha Hanavi. Okay, the Kol Kach Lama. Why does a person who denies about Techiyat HaMetim will lose it? Because he denies the resurrection. Therefore he won't get it. Because all of the midot, the attribute of Hashem is measure for measure. I know that everything midah can be midah. Shnei pasuk vayomer Elisha Shem'u dvar Hashem. Ka'et ma'achar se'asrut b'shekel v'zatam sa'orim b'shekel se'ar Shemron. וכתיב ויען של המלך נשען על ידו את איש האלוקים ויאמר הנה השם עושה ערבות שבהם יהיה הדבר הזה יאמר ניחא רואה בעיניך ומשם לא תאכל. So there was a famine at the time. Elisha told the king that the price of the bread will be dropping tomorrow. And the captain of the gates said, what are you talking about? He made fun of Elisha. And Elisha said, it'll happen, but you won't be there to see it. They trampled him while running out to get the food, and he died. The Gemara says, maybe because he cursed him to die, not Hashem. The Gemara says, the curse of Chacham, even when it's by mistake, basically, it can still happen. The Gemara says, no, should they just trampled him? My Bashar, what did I mention the gate? On the matters of the gate. The gate can also mean the market price. And because the market price made fun, he got killed. No Torah talks about where we see in the Torah the concept of Mechiyat HaMetim. Aaron, there's no Aaron, but will Aaron always be the Kohen? No. Well, he'll pass away. He never entered Israel to give him Terumah. We know that he'll come back alive. Israel and Bnei Israel will give him Terumah. Therefore, we prove that there's Mechiyat HaMetim from the Torah. He explains different. He does not prove this pasuk is just referring to you give it to Aaron like Aaron a Kohen who was nothing but Hacham. You should give it to Tamir Hacham Kohen. The Kohen Amaretz. You don't give Truma to Kohen who's an Amaretz. Shenemar v'yomer la'am v'deshvei Yerushalayim notel benat v'kohanim v'lelim l'man cheskat perot Hashem. Kol ha'machzik b'torah Hashem yesh lo menat v'en shelo machzik b'torah Hashem en lo menat. Whoever is part of the Hashem's Torah, he gets Truma. If not, he doesn't get Truma. Whoever gives Truma to a Kohen, Amaretz, as if he gives it to a lion. Ma'aretz, Safek Dores V'achel, Safek Ina Dores V'achel, Af Kohen Amaretz, Safek Yochab B'tarav, Safek Yochab B'tama. It's like you give food to a lion, you're not sure if it'll rip it apart before eating it. So too, if you give your Truma to a Kohen Amaretz, you don't know if he's going to be tahor before eating it. Right, so you'll even cause the Kohen to die. Shneimar umetu bo ki haluluhu. The very Yisrael af masio avon ashma. You also by giving truma to the Kohen Aretz, you're even causing him to sin. Shneimar vesio tam avon ashma be'ochlam et Hashem. I mean, the pasuk of ki haluhu we mentioned earlier regarding truma as well in the last parak. Okay, Tana. Rabbi Simon Rabbi Nine Timitim Torah. We know that there's a concept of Tiyah Mitim in the Torah. Shneimar vegam hakimoti berti itam latet lahem et eretz kana. I'll give it to them eretz yisrael. L'chem the Lomar, Hashem didn't say to you, Elo lahem to them, Mikan notim to Torah, this must be a proof that there's Torah in the next world. Sha'alu, meaning to the Rabban Gamliel, the Kofri master Rabban Gamliel. Minayin she'aglu baruch hu me'achim etim, how do you know that God can resurrect the dead? Ma'alem min Torah, min anayim and I could prove it to you from the Torah, Nevi'im and Ketuvim. Without Ketuvim Meno, they didn't like any of that, they had a rebuttal for each proof. Gemara says, Minat Torah, from the Torah, it says, from the Torah, the Pasuk says, Ve'yomer Hashem Moshe hinnecha shochev ma'avotecha v'kam. Pasuk stops in the middle after saying, Hashem told Moshe, you will, when you lie down and you die, you'll also rise. Amru said, no. B'dimma v'kam ha'am hazeh v'zana, the next part of the Pasuk says that it's referring to the nation who will stand up, not Moshe. Not a proof. Many of according to the Rebbe, Pasuk yachiu metecha nevalech nevatik yukun akit tzivranenu shochnei afar kita l'orot telecha ve'ares refaim tapil. It's talking about people getting up from the dead. The Gemara says, maybe it's not referring to the general public. Maybe it's referring to the Navi Yehezkel was the one who revived. Not everybody. The Gemara says, from the Ketuvim, it's will arise those who are in the grave. The lips. The Gemara says, who says maybe their lips are just moving regular, not to die, not to wake up. Rabbi Yochanan held. Rabbi Yochanan Yishmer Bi Yishmon Betzdak called me Shenemrah Halachad Bishmol Almazeh Tzedatav Devavot Bakever Shenemar Dalvev Tzedere Shenim. The pasuk says that we learn from a pasuk that if you quote someone else in Torah, their lips are moving in the grave. Ad Shemar Lehem Yikaz until he brought another proof from a pasuk. Asher Nishba Hashem LaAvotechem Latet Lahem. The land promised to give them Lechem Lo Namar Ela Lahem. It's only for them, and we can't say them in Torah. Even another pasuk he accepted them. V'atim Ativikim B'Hashem Elokechem Hayim Kulechem Hayom. Now, obviously they're all alive today, otherwise who's he talking to? Even when all others are dead, you will be alive. Hashem will resurrect you. Came in after your life today, you'll be alive in the next world. Romans asked him two questions. That God can resurrect the dead. He also know what will be in the future. I tell him, I could propose from one pasuk. One second, same question before. Maybe he's just talking about Moshe's not going to get up. People are going to get up to move on. Not resurrection. Marlo said, okay, first take the half proof. Hashem knew what was going to happen in the future. He told Moshe what will happen in Bnei Israel. Now, same pasuk. Okay, then it says, with this pasuk, with this concept, I was able to show them that the Kafir's books are all false. Because they said there's no Torah in Torah. I told them, you made your own Torah and it's all nonsense. But and you said no, but the pasuk says that soul shall be cut off, and it says it twice. Says the fact that it says double lashon means this world and next world. Maybe the pasuk says this world and next world from the word double lashon of karet. In who have Emre, they said no, because the Torah because that's the way the Torah speaks. He holds one for each world according to Lazar. Rabbi Yishmael Pasuk already says you'll cut off someone who curses Hashem. Was he cutting off from three worlds? No. One for this world. One for the next world. That's the way people talk. So according to both of them, what does that last part of Pasuk say? The sin will remain. Like you might think even if the guy does teshuvah, that his sin will be with him. Only if he did not do teshuvah, the sin stays with him. Queen Cleopatra asked her Meir, I know that dead will live again. When they get up, do they rise without clothing or rise with clothing? Amalei said there, I could bring you a kava chomer from a kernel. Umachita. A wheat kernel that you bury it in the ground naked and it comes out with all its surroundings. It comes clothed, quote unquote. So the kim were buried with clothes, for sure will emerge clothed. I'm not case of the Caesar said to I'm ready to the Sheikh you said the Jews that will die will live again. When they become dust, dust cannot rejuvenate. Amra le berete, Caesar's daughter told her, Rabbi, leave him. But I want to answer my father. Let's say there's two potters in our city. One who makes pottery out of water. One makes pottery out of clay. What's better? Marley told her, more impressive if it does out of water. Amarlo, she told him, is minamayim sar. If Hashem fashions humans out of water, so for sure he can make them out of clay or dust. Who cares? Even better, different explanation. She replied from glass. Just like a glass is done by the blowing of a human. If it broke, you can still fix it. So a person who was made by God's blowing of the neshama, for sure it can be refixed. Certain I'm reaching the show. You said the Jews will come back alive again. They become dust. You can't make dust back alive again. I told them, I'm sure I'll give you my show. My mother was compared to the mother of the king told his servants, build me a big house, but there's no water or earth. And with great difficulty they built it. The Amim Naflu and it didn't collapse. He told them, rebuild it in a place where there is earth and water. I'm real, no, we can't do it. 1 second. If you built it without water, earth, make bricks, now you for sure be able to build it. Why are you telling me you can't? If you don't think that you can make things out of dust, go to the field. This type of creature that was half meat, half flesh, and half earth. Then it'll metamorph itself and shed its earth part and become entirely flesh. So we know that dust can turn into flesh. Shema Tamar maybe I think it might take a long time for that creature to come up. Go to the mountain. Go check. There's one chilazon on the mountain. The special techila snail. Then when it rains, there'll be many. So don't think that things can't come out so quickly. Okay. There's a certain Kofar asked Geviha. He says, I feel bad for you sinners. You think that the dead will live again. If the living will die, don't you think the dead? How do you think the dead will live again? Amar said, I feel bad for you, you sinner. You think the dead will not live. If people who are never alive can come to life, so if they're already alive, maybe they can live again. Amar said back to him, you call me a sinner? He said, if I come back to life, I will kick you so hard, and I'll straighten out the hump, because Geviha was a hunchback. And Marley said back to him, if you're able to do it, if you called a very big doctor, I bet you're going to be able to ask for a lot of money for your fees. Okay, turn on. Very cool arguments now. The people challenged people who were challenging Israel were removed from Yerushalayim. Then the Africans came to do bedin with Bnei Israel, in front of Alexander the Great. Amralo Eretz Canaan Shalom. The African said, Eretz Canaan belongs to us. The Tipas who says Eretz Canaan Ligvoteha. It belongs to the borders. We Africans were part of Canaan. Gevia told Hachamim, we're going to say this a few times, pay attention. Give me permission. I will go and debate in front of Alexander the Great. Even if they beat me, you say, no, that's just a regular guy. That's someone else. If I beat them, you could say that Moshe is Torah beat them. Win-win situation. I think the truth is okay, go. But then he went to debate them. We're bringing a proof that the Canaan belongs to you. I'm from the Torah. Then he's like, okay. I also bring a proof from the Torah. Noah cursed Canaan to be a slave to his brothers. He said if the slave acquires property belongs to his master, which is us, Shem. Not only that, if you are a slave, you haven't worked for us in a long time. Come work for us. Amar Alexander the Great turned to them and said, answer him. They said, okay, give us 3 days to make a reply. Nathan Lahan's money, he told them, okay, but they couldn't find an answer. They ran away. They left their fields first full of fully planted and fully grown, and it was helpful because Bnei Israel was in the middle of Shemitah, which wasn't a lot of extra fruits, and they were able to enjoy that. They deserted because they didn't know the answer, and they ran away from Alexander the Great. The Egyptians came to argue, and they said, Pasuk says, when Bnei Israel left Mitzrayim, they took all the gold and silver of the Mitzrayim. The Gemara says, and they said, return the silver and gold he took. Amar Gvia ben Pisilach Hamim Gvia, same exact thing. No, should give us mission, and I'll debate them. And same thing. Win-win if I debate them. Debate. Amal Hani told me, where are being approved that we took silver and gold? I'm from your Torah. Also bring the proof from the Torah. It says, Bnei Israel were in Mitzrayim for 430 years. Okay, fine. You know what? We'll give you the silver and gold if you first pay us the wages for 600,000 men that you made us work for 430 years, and then we'll gladly pay you the difference. The magicians go respond to him. Give us 3 days. And then he did it. Also that year was Shemitah. They ran away, leaving all the fields for Bnei Israel. Another time, they don't learn a lesson. The descendants of Ishmael and descendants of Keturah, the second wife of Abraham Avinu, came to argue with the Jews in front of Alexander the Great. His Eretz Canaan belongs to both of us. Ishmael is one of the sons of Abraham. Also Yitzchak is the son of Abraham. Same thing. Let me debate them because it won't win. We're bringing proof from the Torah. Also bring proof from Torah. Hashem gave everything to Avram, to Yitzchak, and to the concubines, the secondary wives of Avraham Avinu, he gave them presents. So he gave the land, Eretz Yisrael belonged to Yitzchak and his relatives. If a father gave gifts and inheritance to the children while he's alive, you cannot take that away. And therefore, Eretz Yisrael belongs to the Jews and not you guys. My matron, or the gifts that Abraham gave to his other sons, he gave them the unholy black magic skills. He gave that to his other sons. Amen.